What's going on, everybody? And what Gorbama here, and what you are looking at right now is what I believe to be the best class to use with the ASM1. So let's get into it. Alright, so we got the ASM1 obviously as is one of the best guns in the game right now. Since the last update, the ASM1 has hands down been the most used gun since the last update. And before that update, if you guys did not know, or if you bought the game, if you just got the game this Christmas and you're looking for what gun to use this gun. I don't personally use it the most. I still use the BAL, which if you're buying it, if you got it for Christmas, you're not going to know the difference between this gun and the BAL. Alright, so let's get into what makes this class good. Alright, so starting off, we got the foregrip. What the foregrip does is, and this is for every gun in the game, what it does is it reduces the vertical recoil. And when I cannot stress that it reduces the vertical recoil, not the recoil from side to side, left and right. And I really want to make that point strong because this gun does have a lot of movement from left to right, and that's why I do not like to use it, because I'm a big camper. I will admit it now, I like to camp. And I'll usually, if I'm playing domination, I will camp B flag because that is the most popular flag. Anyways, let's move on to the suppressor. I do not use this to suppress the noise or to not give away my position on the minimap. I use this so when I'm firing the gun, there's fire coming out of the end of the barrel, right? And that just gets rid of that fire coming out of the end of the barrel, and it kind of obstructs your view. This is kind of like an opinionated kind of attachment. It'll obstruct your view when the fire is coming out. But a secondary, or another option, another route you can take is advanced rifling. This will increase your range significantly. And I use this, and it is amazing, and inevitably increasing the range also decreases the recoil. Alright, so moving on to the third attachment. Now what we have as a third attachment is the quick draw grip. Now the quick draw grip will allow you to aim down sight faster. When you're coming around a corner and you see a guy and he sees you and you guys are in a 1v1 close quarters combat gun battle. Alright, so moving on to perk 1. Now I'm rocking lightweight here, and what we are doing here is obviously just says move faster. So you move fast, you sprint, and you when you're not sprinting you're moving faster, and you move around corners faster and stuff like that. So it's a really good perk to have, especially with the gun as light as the ASM1. Now, perk 2 is quite a controversial perk. Because you can also use peripherals, which I'm seeing a lot of people utilizing peripherals, and you can read the description there. It increases minimap coverage, and you can take out enemies without displaying the location. Now, this isn't meant to be this way, but if you use this with a suppressor, no one is going to see you coming around a corner because they just saw you kill their friend and they got the little skull and crossbones. Alright, moving down to perk 3. Oh yeah, sorry, go back up to perk 2. Kind of skipped a little bit there. Now, blind eye will make you invisible to sentry turrets. Now, if you are getting sick of getting killed by sentry turrets, I know I am. I hate getting killed by those things. That's why I put blind eye on. And what blind eye does is it eliminates that whole thing. Anyways, moving down to perk 3. Alright, so as you can see here, I got 2 perks, which means I have to have perk 3 greed as a wild card. Alright, so what toughness is you flinch less when shot. I cannot explain it any other way. They give a perfect explanation of what it does. An example that you would absolutely need that in would be when you're in an air combat battle, when you guys are both using your exosuits and stuff like that. You guys are double jumping and doing all that crazy stuff. You will be able to shoot him and be more, when he's shooting at you and he's getting hits on you and you're getting hits on him, when he's shooting you, the difference is that you'll be able to hit him more and end up killing him because you have toughness on, which makes you flinch less when shot. Alright, so moving on to the second perk in perk 3. Now, the second perk in perk 3 is Scavenger. Now, Scavenger is a great perk only in like domination and team deathmatch and every other game mode besides Search and Destroy. Now, if you're playing a lot of Search and Destroy, it's pointless to have Scavenger because you're either going to die that round or you're going to survive the whole round and you're going to get resupply on ammo next round. Alright, so if you're wondering what perk you need to use for that, if you're playing a lot of Search and Destroy, I would use Blast Suppressor. Now this makes you invisible on the minimap when performing exo moves. Now what exo moves are, if you guys do not know what that means, it's that little like radar blip looking thing on the minimap whenever you use an exo ability. Now this is exo dodging. This is not only exo like when you jump up higher. This is when you're dodging, when you're like sliding backwards, even on your feet when you're sliding backwards or sliding to the left or sliding to the right, also known as dodging. This will eliminate that little blip on the radar. Now, moving on to the exo ability, which is exo overclock. Now, exo overclock is, in my opinion, the best exo ability besides exo stim and exo cloak, which also, in my opinion, are way overused, and most people do not know when to use them. I'm going to be honest, I do not know how to use them very well. That's why I don't use them. I'll have to try them out, and if I eventually get to getting around to getting good at them, I will post a video and showing you guys what is the best way to use these two perks. Alright, so exo overclock is when you, the description they give you is to gain a temporary speed boost. Now when you hit the exo, obviously it has a certain amount of battery life that will go down the more you use it, but it'll make you sprint faster and even walk faster. I don't know if it makes you aim down sight faster, but if it did, that would be absolutely beastly with the quick draw grip. Alright, moving on to score streaks. Now, score streaks I have set up right now are UAV and bombing run. If you do want a score streak in between these two, I would highly suggest a system hack, which is before the update. That's what I used a lot, but after the update, I stopped using it because they increased it. Anyways, and that is my setup for the ASM1 Best in Class. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember to subscribe.